the second part is on the Buddhist principle of conditionality and emotion. This is an interesting part. Okay. So I would like to introduce to you this word called Idapacayata. Heard of this one? Idapacayata. This term is mentioned in the Buddhist scriptures many times, in many suttas. For example, one of them is called the Baya Sutta. Okay. Idapacayata basically means the Buddhist principle of conditionality or causality. It's nothing to do with air conditioning. Nothing to do with air conditioning. Basically what it means, everything arises and ceases due to causes and conditions. Everything arises and ceases due to causes and conditions, and it applies to emotions as well. Got it? If you want to know the etymology of the term, Ida means this or that. Ida means this or that. Pacaya means causes or condition. Okay? And ta is just nurse. So it's also called this, that conditionality. That's a bit technical part. In practice, it says that everything in life it arises because of causes conditioning. Okay? I have a simple way to help you to remember this. I figured out this just yesterday. Because it's called this, that conditionality. Okay? So if I ask the question, why like this one? If I ask you, how come I got the wrong set of slides? Why like this one? What will be the answer? It's like that because of causes and conditions. You ask, why this morning you woke up, you didn't feel good? How come you got a lot of giddiness? Why? Why like this one? The answer is, like that because the causes and conditions. Why you feel upset? Why do you feel angry? Why do you feel frustrated? Why like this one? Answer is standard. It's like that because of causes and conditions. Is that easy enough to remember? But the Idapacayata, basically the principle says everything happens, everything arises, everything ceases because they are causes and conditions. Why panic attack? Why like that one? Because of causes and conditions. Why feel guilty? Why like that one? Because of causes and conditions. If I add one more, then why not? Why like that one? Why not? Because the causes and conditions are there. Why if I ask you a question, you may feel scared to answer the question? Why not? Because the causes and conditions. Two more Pali words. Sometimes we just use the word causes, sometimes we just use the word condition, sometimes we use the word causes and condition. The Pali term for causes is Hetu, and the Pali word for condition is Pacaya. Sometimes causes is used to mean the primary cause, whereas Pacaya is used to describe the supportive causes. I think that is quite common sense in life. There are a lot of causes and conditions, but usually there are one or two primary ones. There are a few supportive ones. Anyway, why are you here today? How come you come today? Because they got causes and conditions. They got the primary one, maybe the Hetu one, they got the secondary one. Okay. Next slide is on Paticasamupada. Just now is on Idapacayata. This is Paticasamupada. It's also a very important teaching in Buddhism. Actually, they are related. Okay. Paticasamupada is a specific application of Idapacayata in explaining rebirth. Why we are reborn again and again and again, why we suffer again and again and reborn again. So this is very deep. I will try to simplify the explanation. Okay, just remember, this is an extension of the earlier slide. Earlier slide is on Idapacayata. Everything happens with causes and conditions. This one, similar, everything happens with causes and conditions. In fact, there are 12 causes and conditions. I use this link Because there are 12 links. 12 causes and conditions, got 12 links. So there are 12 causes and conditions which explain why we are reborn again and again, why we suffer again and again. Following you so far? With ignorance. Because of ignorance, we end up doing a lot of bad karmas. Make sense? Because in ignorance, for example, we break the precepts. We do a lot of unwholesome deeds. Okay? Because of unwholesome deed, of course, there's karma. And karma causes rebirth. Make sense so far? And by the way, it's a Buddhist art. Ignorance is represented by a blind man. A blind man, can you see blind man? Ignorance. Then karma is a potter. Potter making pots, potter. So karma, bad karma, unwholesome karma. Then rebirth is represented a monkey, like the monkey jumping from one tree to another tree. Buddhist art, very cool. Okay? So of course the rebirth already, of course rebirth you got a mind and body. You got mind and body, right? I hope your mind and body here, not body here, mind not here. Once we are reborn, natural, isn't it? That's the causes and conditions. We have the mind and body. So one thing will lead to the other one. From mind and body, of course, we have the 6 senses. So what are the 6 senses? Sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of touch. And from Buddhist perspective, we have the 6th sense, which is the mind. Yeah, it comes to set one, right? You got the mind, body, you have the 6 senses. Okay? Mind, body is represented by a boat with mind, body, a boat. There are some passengers, right? Passengers from mind, body. 6 senses with a building with 6 main windows. Very interesting Buddhist art. 6 main one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You ask them why they draw extra ones. Maybe the 6th one. I don't know. You can ask them. Then with the 6 senses, we have sense contact. Sense contact means we hear something or we see something. Interesting picture depicted by couple kissing. Contact. So the contact. Okay? With contact, we see something that will generate feeling. That's Vedana. And feeling, is it same as emotion? No. Feeling is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. So far, no emotions yet. Anyway, I'm sharing this, I'm relating to emotion. So far, emotion is not involved yet. Up to feeling, emotion is still not involved yet. So here, you can have pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. If you like kissing, it's pleasant. If you don't like kissing, it's unpleasant. No preference, then neutral. Then we have craving is the attachment to pleasant feeling or the aversion to unpleasant feeling. That means attachment to what I like or aversion to what I don't like. That's craving. So a little bit of emotion already. Got it? Then in clinging is having negative thoughts, negative feelings, or negative behavior. Let's say, oh, I see your handbag. Wow, very nice handbag. You're starting to have unwholesome thought. Maybe I want to own that. Maybe I want to steal your handbag. So that is clinging already. So it's starting to have unwholesome thoughts, feelings, / emotion, some behavior, some planning. Okay? Then becoming is the habitual way of thinking and feeling in this way. A very fixated way of, I want to steal. I'm bad. Okay? So here, there's emotion. Although the word emotion is usually not used, as said in the Buddhist context. Okay? Now, of course, if I want to steal your handbag, I will tarnish your reputation, I will break the precept. Of course, that will eventually lead to rebirth again. Make sense? If you have not learned the lesson, you have not come to BGF, have not learned the Buddha Dharma, the cycle repeats. Is Paticasamupada, various translations. Sometimes it's called dependent origination. Sometimes it's called interdependent co-arising. I use the word co-arising because earlier I used the word Idapacayata. I used the word arises. Everything arises due to causes and condition. So I standardize the terminology. So there are 12 links, interdependent links, which explains karma, rebirth, suffering, why we are born again and again and again. Okay? Okay, let's relate to emotion because our focus today is on emotion. Anyway, you hold the links so that you remember. Hold the 12 links and causes and conditions. And these three are related to emotion. Okay, this is the interesting part. Okay, emotions also arise because of causes and conditions. Why do I feel angry? They are causes and conditions. Why do I feel jealous, envious? They are causes and conditions. These are my teaching tools. So emotions are like Lego formation. Emotions are like Lego formation. Because this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this get anger. You have another set of formation, you got this. You got fear. You got that, different formation. You get happiness or joy. Are you following me so far? So emotions arise because of causes and conditions. Different causes and conditions will form different emotions. So far so good? Something a bit lighter. Recently I made a song. I made a song to convey what I tried to convey just now. Related to Idapacayata, related to dependent origination. Basically, I want to highlight the fact that emotions also arise because of causes and conditions. Okay? And of course, we can transform the emotion. So may I share this song with you? So enjoy the song. And the song has a very soothing drum percussion. So if you like, you can also do some tap on the body.
Emotions rise like waves at sea, but mindful breath can set us free. With wisdom's light, the path is clear, transforming pain, dissolving fear. When this is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. Idapacayata, Paticasamupada. Each thought a seed we choose to grow. With gratitude and contentment, joy unfolds. The chains of sorrow start to fade. In wisdom, new peace is made. When this is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. Idapacayata, Paticasamupada. In every rise, in every fall, impermanence embraces all. This emotion shall also pass like waves on sand. With wisdom's touch, we understand. is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. Idapacayata, Paticasamupada. As one link breaks, the chains fall free. With mindful heart we start to see the end of pain, the birth of peace. In wisdom's light all sorrows cease. When this is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. Idapacayata, Paticasamupada. When this is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. Idapacayata, Paticasamupada.
So that's the chorus of the song lah. When this is, that is. When this isn't, that isn't. When this arises, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases. What does that mean? As what I explained earlier. So just another way to convey the message. So if you like this song, you can scan it. Okay. So just now I mentioned emotion have causes and conditions. But just now you're asking, so what are the causes and conditions? What are the possible causes and conditions? And this slide will answer that. So emotion is interdependent on many factors, many causes and conditions. So what are the possible causes and conditions? One, of course, ignorance. In fact, in the Paticasamupada, the first one is ignorance. Ignorance is one of the, in fact, it's a Hetu, is a primary. Because of ignorance, it can lead to a lot of suffering, a lot of negative emotion. Okay? Thought, perception, our thought, the way we think can influence how we feel. Thinking, mindset, our attitude, our assumption is very powerful in conditioning our emotion. Because biology, I'm a doctor. If balance, it can affect our emotion. You have tummy upset, tummy problem, IBS, it can affect the emotion. So the same things go for genetic as well. So there are a lot of biological factors that can influence our emotion. Behavior, for people with depression, if you sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, because one of the symptoms of depression is tiredness. If you think you sleep more and going to feel better, it's not going to happen. Actually, sleeping more will make depression worse. Actually, behavior, more activities, more exercises, go out, have some sunlight, that will change the emotion. Environment, I'm very sensitive to heat, so I'm very comfortable here because of got air conditioning and also got dependent original conditioning. I feel very comfortable here, but I'm very sensitive to heat. If you feel hot, I feel very uncomfortable. Social factors, environment, having social support compared to no social support, that can have an emotion. Of course, past experience as well. So these are the various factors that can influence our emotion. Okay. The next part, I already mentioned these are the factors can influence our emotion, but what is the dynamic of the emotion? Dynamic means what is the process, exactly how emotions are formed, exactly how the various factors, the various causes and conditions, how they interact. Life is complex, it doesn't happen one by one. They all interact, just like the chains. The chain actually in the real, actually it's not one by one. They're all interconnected. They're all interconnected. Of course, when we explain one by one. But in reality, it's happening at the same time. And they're all interconnected. The same applies for the causes and conditions for emotions as well. Okay? So to explain the interconnectedness, it's helpful to refer to a Western therapy, a modern therapy method known as cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a modern therapy which is very useful for treatment of depression. It's also very useful for treatment of anxiety. It explains the interaction between thoughts, feelings, and actions. In CBT, they also got many tools, CBT is one of the modern therapy method. In this therapy method, there are many tools. And one of the tools is called the hot cross bun. It's called Padesky hot cross bun because it's named after the person who created this concept, Padesky hot cross bun. So according to this model, I'm using the Buddhist term, emotion is interdependent on thoughts, bodily sensation, behaviors, situation which is contact, and environment. It shows the dynamic. And sometimes I want to add the 7th component, which is the past experience. Over here, how many do you see? How many parts in this model? Emotion, 1. Thoughts, behavior, body sensation, situation, environment. How many? 6. You can plus one more to make it more complete, past experience. It's called hot cross bun because it looks like the bun, the bun, 4 parts. To put it another way, actually it's similar. It's similar. I just put it another way. A contact is a situation can trigger a thought reaction, bodily reaction, emotional reaction, or a behavioral reaction. Is similar to this area. Can you see the similarity? Can see? Actually the same. I just put it in slightly different way. Right? So a contact can trigger thought reaction, bodily reaction, emotional reaction, and behavioral reaction. I'm going to have a quiz. So I'm going to ask this little question and test whether you understood what I've been sharing so far. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to have a quiz question. Okay. So that is the situation. That is the contact and trigger. Okay. So I'm going to ask you the question now. So what thoughts, reactions do you have? What bodily reaction do you have? What emotional reaction do you have? And what behavioral reaction do you have? Typically, if you are a person who is afraid of speaking, you're afraid of, especially public speaking, what do you think the thought will be? Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to do a quiz. I said I'm going to randomly choose who's going to answer the question. Typically, what will your thought reaction be? Don't choose me. Don't choose me. Or see, don't choose me. Don't choose me. Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me. Don't look at me. So those are thought reaction. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. The body reaction. A bit otherwise anxiety, not joyful one. Of course you going out. So the body reaction help you be fast. Okay. Emotional reaction, a little bit of fear. Fear. What is the behavior reaction? Avoid eye contact. No eye contact. Or go to the toilet. These are behavior. Go to the toilet. Excuse yourself, go to the toilet. So can you see? It's a very simple situation. You will trigger thought reaction, body reaction, emotional reaction. I'm going to make it more complex now. Right? Same model. So same model. In that model, there are total 6 parts. Am I correct? 7 parts. 7 parts. So we have situation, number 1. We have thoughts, number 2. emotion 3, body sensation 4, behavior 5, environment and past experience. So far so good, right? Okay. So we're going to choose another example. Situation will be, imagine you're preparing for final school exam. Or if you're an adult, maybe you're preparing for certain professional exams. That would be the situation or the contact or the trigger. Right? Okay. Then thoughts. I have to do well, or I'll waste money for the professional exam. So that's thoughts. Right? Okay. Then the emotion will be anxiety lah. Unlikely to be happy and joyful, is it? So anxiety, stress, kanchong, worry. Worry is usually thought. The emotion is the anxiety. Right? What do you think will be the body sensation? Stomach ache, stomach ache, stomach ache. Stomach ache. Headache. What could be the behavior? Different people behave different way. Some will study more, study excessively. Some will procrastinate, don't study. And if I ask you why like this one, what will you answer me? Why different people behave differently? Some will go and study harder, study. Some will procrastinate. Why like this one? Why like that one? The answer will be because they are causes and conditions, and different people have different causes and conditions. Easy enough to relate? Right? Then what could be the environmental factors? Okay. The school environment is very competitive. You're sitting for exam, and this school top school. School environment very competitive, especially in the top class. That adds on to the pressure. Makes sense, isn't it? That's the school environment. Okay. Then past experience. Repeatedly scolded by your mother. Sorry lah, this is not meant to generalize the mother. For not performing well in your study, which led to frequent arguments between your parents due to poor exam result. So now can you see the various causes and conditions for why for this particular student behave in this way, feel this way, think this way? Right? Can relate? One more example. This time for schoolgoers. Another one. Next example. Another. Your boss criticized you at work. So that is a situation, or the contact, or the trigger. Okay. Then your thoughts. Oh, very happy. Thank you for choosing me to criticize it. You might think I'm not good enough. Will this affect my work? Will I be terminated? Will I get my bonus? Then the emotion will be anxious, slightly anxious. Kanchong, worry, no bonus, die. Body sensation, knot in the stomach, or sweating, or increased heartbeat. Behavior will be? What could be the possible behavior? Work harder? Or resign? No need to work lah. Work also get criticized. Don't work also get criticized. You might withdraw, resign, or avoid your boss. Ruminate. Some people will argue with the boss. Some people will just ruminate and think, no action. So different people will behave differently. Similarly, different people will also think different way and feel different way. Environmental factor. Imagine you are criticized in a meeting room with all your colleagues around. That will be very embarrassing, isn't it? That will add on to the stress. Past experience. And from Buddhist perspective, the past can until past life. Your perfectionist father, very fair one. I thought about mother also, I thought about fathers. Your perfectionist father frequently criticized you during childhood and therefore you value external approval. So to you, external approval is very, very important. Maybe for you, nothing lah, score lah, used to it already. But for you, wow, it means a lot. Okay, why like that one? Why different one? Because different causes and condition, right? Okay, so therefore, if you want to understand your emotion more, so I got this practice called mirror on mindful mirror, not mirror. Mindful mirror on the wall, tell me my emotions more and more. So it's a phrase for practice lah. Mindful mirror on the wall, not mirror on the wall. Mindful mirror on the wall, tell me my emotions more and more. Not tell me who's the prettiest of all. that is a tradition. Mirror on the wall, tell me who's the prettiest of all. Change it. It's mindful mirror on the wall, tell me my emotions more and more. If you want to understand your emotion more, it's very simple practice. You can just have a piece of paper, map out your experience. So the center part is the situation. Okay? The situation can be whatever, any situation. Then you map out the thoughts, the associated thoughts, associated feelings, associated body sensation, associated behavior, and then the ring is the environment. And this one represent past experience. Practical enough? Can. Remember earlier there's one slide, I actually showed a book cover of a book by Bante Tejaniya. It says, don't look down at your defilements. I think that is a very meaningful book cover title. Okay, my understanding of this is, don't look down at our negative emotions. The word defilements there include negative emotion. Okay, don't look down, we should learn from it. But how to learn? This is one way. So we map out the negative emotion. In other words, map out the defilements and try to understand the causes and conditions. So far so good? Okay. And that's the end of part 2.
Sadhu. Thank you very much, Dr. Phang. And now we would like to reopen the floor for question and answers.
Just one or two before we proceed with the third part. Yeah.
Okay. So let's maybe give a chance to those who asked yet.
Please don't ask me why like this one. Because my standard answer will be, why not like this? Because there are causes and conditions.
So, Dr. Phang.
Yes.
Nurture versus nature. People who have a certain inclination to emotional states, how much is it due to biological inheritance or hereditary, or is it the fact that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
You want to know the exact percentage, nature versus nurture for emotions. According to the studies in positive psychology, about 50%. About 50% is determined by genetics. Okay? So what does that mean to you? In fact, that when I say that about 50% is determined by genetics, actually that is a situation, So when you hear that, when I say about 50% is determined by genetic, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your bodily sensations? And what is your behavior? There's something I can't tell, but for you to know. But it can be up to 50%. But the good thing is, there's also a nurture part. There are a lot of things we can do. There are a lot of things we can transform. So it's not like the links are all fixed already. You cannot unlink, the chain can be changed, the links can be modified. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether your question is focusing on the first part But I will choose to focus on the sad part. The links can change. The causes and conditions can change. Okay. Maybe one more question before we go to the third part.
Regarding the panic attack, right? So
What
it's
type?
quite true, the panic attack that
Panic attack.
will cause us to like go for emergency,
Yes.
etc. So it's actually like the symptom is part of PTSD. So what is the emergency medications that this type of patient should take?
You mean during a panic attack?
Yeah, because the shortness, panic attack also have like shortness of breath. It's like you cannot be surrounded with a lot of people.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I would just want to make sure whether I get your question correctly. So in the context of panic attack, if you want to take medicine, what is the best medicine?
What's the recommended? Or do we need to take medications or?
Oh, that one is more difficult to answer. Anyway, I will try.
But what is the medications that
Okay, I will try to give a practical answer because this is not a consultation. We have to keep it brief lah. Basically, if you can cope with a panic attack, you know how to cope and you can cope, then no need to take medicine. If you cannot, then a medication can be very helpful. And one of the helpful medication is called Xanax. It's called Xanax or Alprazolam. So for a talk, I can only answer to that level. If you can cope, you know how to cope, you can manage, then no need to take. If you can't, then consider medication. And one of the medication to consider is Xanax. Exactly how to take, when not to take, clinic setting will be better to discuss. Right?
Because the panic attack, right? It will like sometimes it will like cannot breathe.
Yeah.
So it will go to the emergency.
Yeah.
So is it quite severe?
As severe? But severe, if you know how to manage, it's alright, ma. But I guess lah, from the way you ask, that means you don't know lah. From where you ask, I sort of can guess lah, that you don't know how to cope with it. So if you don't know how to cope with it, I will say medication is one of the options. And one medication, there's a medicine called Xanax. You got to watch Netflix documentary. They'll give you an introduction to Xanax, but you need professional consultation on how to use Xanax. Okay? Impossible for me to teach you how to use Xanax over here. Okay? But I assure you there's a way to do that. Okay? Good.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe
Yeah.
can we take one more?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Comments also welcome. Yeah. Question.
I'd just like to make a comment. I don't know which brother was talking about nature and nurture.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
help me.
So I think Dr. Phang reported that Sonia Levinsky paper 50%, but because recently I just came across it, I think it's a bit lower with the recent study. I think 2018, I can direct you to that paper. They talk about heritability of happiness, which from twin studies is like 30 to 40. So I think the nurture part is probably a larger percentage. That means things that we can actually, do and modify. So heritability they put it as happiness, so I guess it's emotion. So it's 30-40 as nature.
It's still 30-40. Yes, I'm aware of that paper. It's still 30-40. It's still quite high. But the emphasis is always on the other 50 or the other 60 to 70. The things that we can do. Things that can make a change. That's the whole idea of learning the 12 links. That's the whole idea of identifying the causes and conditions with the hope that we can change the causes and conditions. You also got to be realistic when we identify the causes and conditions. Not necessarily all can be changed. But it's important to identify those that can be changed and those that cannot be changed. By the way, genetics, gene expression can be changed. Correct? Gene expression can be changed. Epigenetic, yes, gene expression can be changed.
成果，有因又有缘，就开花结果，有因就有果，有缘就成